fly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. A reading rainbow.
The Lost and Found Pony by Tracy Dockeray. I didn't ask to be small. When I was born, my mother towered over me. I couldn't wait to grow up. And when I did, I realized we were both small, but we could still run fast. Fast enough that the wind would tickle our manes. And even though we couldn't carry much, I knew that I would be just right for someone small like me. One day, I was washed and brushed, and dressed up with a bow. I was going to be a girl's wish come true. When she saw me, the girl threw her arms around me and whispered that I was perfect. And I felt perfect. Nothing could be better than that day. Over time, I learned to jump with the girl upon my back. We loved jumping and won many competitions. With each blue ribbon, the girl's parents became more proud. Until one day, I came to a jump that was just too high. Everyone gasped as the girl tumbled into the dust. When she got up, she took my reins and told me that it wasn't my fault. That animal could have gotten you killed, her mother shrieked. This is terrible. How could you possibly win on a pony like this? The girl's worried parents led her away. I didn't see the girl for 2 weeks. I waited for my friend day after day, wondering what I had done wrong. Then I found out. The problem wasn't what I had done, but what I was. She had been given a big horse with a smooth, shiny coat that could run faster and jump higher than a tiny little pony. That evening, the girl came into my stall. I was so happy she came back. I remember her hugging my neck and saying, "I will never let you go. I will always love you." But how can a little girl change things? The next day, when the girl wasn't home, a man came and took me away. I was sad and scared to leave my home. After a long, dusty day on the road, we drove up to an enormous tent. I was unloaded and brought to an old trailer. A tiny man appeared, even smaller than the girl. He was to be my new owner. I was to be a circus pony. We were a team, and everyone loved us. In the circus, being small was what made us special. Each night after the show, the man would feed and groom me and talk about all our good day in a soft voice. The circus moved from town to town, and we now starred in the center ring. Yet, even as the crowds cheered us, I always looked to the stands, hoping the little girl might be in them. While we were the heroes of the circus, the years passed quickly, but eventually I grew too old to jump through flaming hoops, though I could do many things that people still clapped for. And all the while, I never gave up my search. At first, we hardly noticed, the applause getting quieter as the crowd thinned. Then slowly it happened. The big top that held our circus seemed too big with its stands so empty. Over the years, our audience had developed different tastes. They stayed home now, playing video games or watching movies for spectacle and fun. But what would become of us? The answer came soon enough. Our circus was to be sold off in bits and pieces. The elephants and exotic animals were sold to zoos all over. What would happen to me? The man came to whisper goodbye, for I belonged to the circus and could not go with him. At that moment, my heart felt too big for a small chest, and I thought it might break. All the circus horses were carted off to be sold at auction. The horses there were like me, hobbly old things that had been around. Most of them were sold and carried off in large trucks. No one noticed me for some time, but when it was finally my turn to be sold, I tried not to be scared. I remembered my life as a show jumper and famous circus performer. I held up my head and tried to look as proud as a tiny, very old pony could, and then someone bought me. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I knew that my heart could not stand being outgrown again. I saw a lady striding through the crowd. As she came closer and smiled, I realized it was a little girl. All these years I had been searching the stands for her, but of course the little girls grow up. "Hello, my old friend. I knew that was you. Where have you been?" I couldn't answer, but she hugged me and explained that after I was sold, she gave up competing, but never her love for horses. She now runs a stable. I will help the children who need extra care, since I am small, slow, and gentle. And here, I know I'll never be outgrown again. I will always have children who pretend I am their own dream come true. The end.
Imagine what it's like living in a giant's world with everyday tasks beyond your reach, being overlooked by everyone, and when your size is the biggest joke in town.
They don't have the culture to accept people who are different with them.
These are the stories of some of the most extraordinary people on the planet.
My name is Edgar, and I recommend Prudence Wants a Pet.
My name's Juan, and you should read this book. It's called Blackout.
Okay, my name's Ashton, and I recommend If You Plant a Seed, because it's about a bunny, or rather, I don't know, but it's really great.